Y'all, I want to share with y'all today a video about what not to do at Christmas time. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things going through y'all's mind right now. But before I get into the details too much, I want to let a few people get in here because this is a surprise video. It was not scheduled. I usually don't do one uh, at this time on this day, but I'm hoping it's going to be a nice surprise for a lot of people. But y'all think about it. What not to do at Christmas time? I'm getting this pulled up on a notepad, y'all. Well, hey there, Nicole. Yes, and Angela. Hey, I wanted to surprise y'all. Yes, I wanted to do me a video. And y'all, I was going to do it in the swing, but this time of day it's just too hot out there, so I came on in here in the bedroom with the air conditioner off. Oh, thank you, Angela. Okay, let's see. Let me find y'all on this notepad so I can see the chat better. What not to do at Christmas time. And look, y'all, I cleaned up my bedroom as promised, put my stuff back in the cabinet. I want to try to get close enough. Hey, T-sleepers, that y'all can hear me good because I don't have the mic. But right now, it's just me and y'all, and we're going to talk about Christmas time. And I know it's not Christmas time yet, but trust me, it's going to be here before y'all know it. Yeah, I don't want to completely look away from y'all, so let me see if I can get this where I can look at that, and it looks like I might be looking at y'all too. Whoops. Yeah, kick it, Tammy. Just like Bradley used to do. Oh, y'all. There was nothing no more exciting whenever we was children until Christmas time come around. And y'all know how kids are at Christmas. You love and anticipate and get so excited when the presents start showing up under the tree. Now, I know we wasn't the only kids like that. I know a lot of kids are like that. And you know, the ones that show up under your tree first is kind of from family, like mom and daddy. Now, we all know that, you know, we got to wait to December the 24th in kids' land for Santa Claus to come. Yes, ma'am. Santa Claus comes and he brings presents, and he comes in all shapes and sizes. Yes, he does. And you know, y'all can believe however you want to believe, but Santa Claus comes. And he used to leave presents all under the tree. And it wasn't necessarily the value. Oh, Angela, thank you. Go, Angela. Go, Angela. Go, Angela. Go. Yay. It wasn't necessarily the value of what that gift may have cost or how much trouble Santa Claus had to go to get it. But y'all, it was what's inside. We didn't care what it was. But the best thing to do at Christmas, this is the best thing. The best thing is just watch your mom and daddy and the family put sisters and brothers and grandmas and all them put their gifts under the tree, and you see how pretty they are, and they sit there, and the whole time you're thinking, I wonder what's in there. I wonder what I'm getting. You know, it's exciting. Okay. It is. And you should be patient and you should wait. And sometimes, you can shake. Shake's okay. Don't shake too hard though. But Angela, I really appreciate my super chat. I do. And I'm glad. I know I surprised y'all, but anyway, we're gonna go with what we got here. But if you shake too hard sometimes you might dislocate something or tear something up. Some of it might be fragile. But it was just an excitement in the air, and Christmas time is exciting anyway. And there's nothing more precious than seeing little children get excited at Christmas. And some big children get excited at Christmas too. They really do. But you should be patient and you should wait until your time to open your Christmas presents. Some people do it the day before and then wait on Santa Claus, and some people do it the night of, and some people do it Christmas Day, Christmas evening, and some people out of town may have to do it later. And when you got um, multiple family members, in the case that maybe your parents have been divorced and you get to go to two or three different grandma and granddaddy's houses and two or three different mom and daddy's houses, um, you know, there's a lot to do. So that kind of takes the excitement out of Christmas sometimes. But kids, they can't help it. Oh, Thelma, thank you, Thelma. Go, Thelma. Go, Thelma. Go, Thelma, go. Yay. Y'all so sweet. I wasn't expecting that. I was just wanting to tell y'all why not to do it Christmas. Because we done it. But you be patient. You wait till your time comes, your family get together comes, and you just, when you open them, you just be so thankful for whatever it is and so excited in most cases. Now, I know there's different family situations in every case, but I'm saying for the most part, you just love everything you get. Like maybe a little girl got a Barbie doll. Oh, that'd be the most beautiful Barbie doll she's ever seen in her life. And especially if she got one of those with the real pretty fancy dress on. But anyway, and say the boys got, man, a G.I. Joe set. Man, all the kids back then, for the most part, loved G.I. Joe. I mean, it was just, and my, sometimes you might get a bicycle, a brand new bicycle, you know. Sometimes you might get a bicycle, excuse me, y'all. Sometimes you might get a bicycle that has been repainted and fixed up. And there's even more love in something like that because time and sweat and effort went into that gift. But anyway, kids just loved, and they still do love getting gifts at Christmas. But y'all, this is what, when you have your big family meal, whether it's finger foods or it's the whole full course meal, you know, you fellowship together, you sit around, you talk about things that happen throughout the year. Hopefully, you'll have enough good things to talk about that y'all don't depress each other, but you just enjoy each other and being around each other, food and fellowship with your family. And you know, a lot of times, that's the only time some families really get together. Yeah, Christmas back in the day was amazing. It was, Angela, it really was. But I know times has changed some, but those family conversations in those times, they were precious. And they were a lot different than they are today. Um, Things are different today. And, you know, that's all right. Times change, but that's a time to enjoy, and that's a time that the family's together, because you know, if you're involved in church, you got Christmas plays and you got Christmas parties, and You know, and it ain't all about the gifts. The children need to know about, you know, the Jesus story and the birth of Christ and all that. And they get taught that in Sunday school and church. I'm not belittling any of that. That's the most important part to me. And that should go without saying, but I want to mention it in case somebody out there wants to rant and rave because I was talking about the gifts. Y'all, Jesus gives us gifts every day. Just by waking us up, he gives us gifts. The gift of breath, you know. And Jesus likes for us, you know, to give to one another. And like I said, there's just nothing more precious than seeing little children at Christmas open their Christmas presents. Yeah, you teach them the biblical story and you teach them about Jesus and his birth, but there's nothing wrong with them getting excited over their Christmas presents. I know some grown people that still get excited over their Christmas presents, don't they, Stephen? Of course, not as much so as he did when he was a young one, because he got a lot more back then. But it's just amazing to me. It's sweet blessings, and it's so innocent. Now, this is what you don't want to do at Christmas time. I'm I'm guilty of this. I think I don't know if Stephen is guilty of it or not. He may be. He may have been. I can't honestly remember. Seems like he was though, but he can straighten me out if he wasn't guilty of it. But I'm pretty sure me and my sister were both guilty of it. I know I was. But anyway, you got them gifts sitting under the tree. This is before Santa Claus comes now. This is from family. And you want to shake them and you want to try to figure out what's in them. And when I was little, I wanted to try to figure out what was in mine too. Well, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to get under the tree and get you some scissors or a knife and cut the Scotch tape. Don't hurt the paper. But you unwrap that enough that you can get it out and see what it is. You know, I got to take these off a minute. They fogging up. But I know my aunt gave me a pair of pajamas one time. And I opened them jokers up. But I think Dina was the only one that knew it. Because it seems like to me Dina looked too, but I'm not going to say positively. She'd have to say for sure. But, them was the prettiest pajamas, and I couldn't wait to get them on, but I was satisfied then. I knew what it was. I put it back in the wrapper and taped it back up with Scotch tape. You couldn't tell it had ever been into. So, this is what you don't want to do. Don't open your presents. But I had some little neighbor children that lived beside me. Sharon and Stephanie and Joey. And they are still my friends today. But I can't remember, I want to say it was Stephanie and Joey. But like I say, I don't remember the details for sure. But their mama had bought them some Christmas. And she knew not to put it in the house. I mean, she was a single parent. And she knew not to put it in the house. So she had it locked up in the trunk of her car. Well, I want you to know, I know Joey had to be the instigator of it, the boy. But anyway, he got the keys. He got in the trunk of that car when his mama was in the house doing something or asleep. I don't know exactly what Miss Betty was doing right at that time. This is White Earp's cousins. I don't know if White Earp ever done anything like this or not, but I know Joey and Stephanie did, and Sharon might have been in on it. But anyway, they looked at everything that was in the trunk of that car. They knew exactly what they was getting from their mama. And y'all, I wish I could remember this part, but I don't remember this part. But I don't know if Miss Betty ever found out about it or not, but Dana would probably remember. But I'm pretty sure if Miss Betty found out about it, somebody's hide got tanned. But they did. They looked at everything their mama was giving them anyway. So if they got a surprise, it had to be from Santa, because it sure wasn't from her. Now, remember now, this is what you don't do at Christmas time. What you don't do at Christmas time. And let's just say, because you know you have to act when you see the stuff. You have to act surprised when you open it. And sometimes it's hard to act surprised when you already know what it is. Y'all know that? Oh, but all right. Let's say we at the we getting ready for the family meal again. Now this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to do this at Christmas time, because whether you got finger foods again or whether you got a full course meal, you don't want to get in there. And this goes for adults and kids now. I'm not just tripping on kids. Stephen, I see you in there. Didn't you open some of your presents one time? You might have done it more than once. But I think you did it one time, didn't you? Anyway, we'll see what he says if he says something. But when you're getting ready to eat and an adult asks you what you want, you get pretty much what you want. You never done that. Are you sure? You may not have, but it seemed like to me, I thought I remembered you done it. But I know I done it. But thinking about Christina, I am not. Y'all both might have done it. But anyway, if he didn't do it, I guess I'll have to believe him. But anyway, I know I did it. So I'm just telling y'all what not to do at Christmas time. But I know y'all have been around some family that when you fix the kid a plate of food, and it can be any age, and they sit down and they go to eat, and then I don't like that. I'm not eating that mess. And you know, you try to, because everybody can hear them, you know, and you're trying to get them to quieten down. And now my kids never done that. I can tell you for a fact my kids never done that. Because they knew better, didn't you, Stephen? Of course, Stephen will eat most anything anyway. But I have been to some Christmas gatherings where kids, they tried to boss their parents around, and they'd pitch a fit. They didn't like this. They didn't want that. Look, they just didn't know how fortunate and blessed they were to have a choice in different kinds of foods prepared by different people. But I've always had this thing about, you know, I see I'm looking up again. I'm sorry, y'all. I've always had this thing about disrespectful children. I've heard I'm not eating that because you cut it up. Yeah, I've heard a lot of things, but anyway, you said you saw he didn't say he said that. He heard it because my children, that's one thing they didn't do. Now they might fight over the deviled eggs or the last piece of chicken at home. They didn't nowhere else. Eat everything on your plate was the rule growing up. Yeah, I heard that a lot. And I realize that they some things, kids might not like. Now, my mama had a cousin. We went to eat with them. I don't know what it is about a 4'8" woman, but they love to spank you. Oh, only when you need it. Hey, I got my share when I was growing up, and it didn't have nothing to do with Christmas time. Oh, but my kids pretty much, they had manners, and they acted like they were supposed to when we left home, and I'm proud of that. And as far as I know, they still do. They hadn't always done everything like I wanted them to do, but they knew to respect their elders, and they minded. But I've seen children just lay down on the floor and pitch a fit. They wasn't gonna do this and they wasn't gonna do that. Um, y'all, there's a way to get them up out of that floor. And you can do it different ways. Back when my kids was growing up and when I was growing up, we got the belt. I mean, that's just the way it was. And you remembered it. But I know people discipline kids a lot different now because, see, we didn't have all that cell phone and all them computer games and all that stuff. So we didn't really have anything they could take away from us except not let us go outside. Now that would hurt because we loved to play outside. I played outside in the dirt with mud pies and doing stuff outside when I was a youngin' more than I did inside. But it's just amazing to me the difference in kids and the way they do nowadays. And some of them think they got to have and I'm not knocking people who get new trucks or cars and all for their kids. I'm not. I'm proud for them. I really am. But a lot of times when you do that, the kids don't really appreciate it, and then they wind up something happening to it or something, and then they need another one. I mean, Lord, if I got something, I was very appreciative of it, just like I am now. And I've never had to have big expensive things. This when I graduated high school, my daddy, we never did without anything. We had everything that we always needed, and most of our wants. And my daddy was always there for me. But when I graduated high school, I won't never forget it. My daddy and stepmama gave me it was one of those little alarm clocks like this right here. It was blue. You folded it up like in a little compact, and you opened it up and it set up. That's what I got for graduation. And I was so proud of my little alarm clock. And it was the time in my life where I needed an alarm clock because I was going to have to get up and start going to work instead of school. But, nowadays, when I graduated, I got a lot of gifts from different people, friends and family members and all. But as far as what my daddy and my stepmother could do, that's what they could do. And I didn't think any less of that little alarm clock than I did anything else I got. But not only at Christmas time, but there's different times in your lives where, you know, there's a lot of what not to do's. We might discuss another time on another video, but this is just basically Christmas time. But there is nothing that is more precious to me than to watching kids open. And y'all, when Stephen was little, I probably done told y'all this, or Grandma probably has, but when Stephen was little and it was Christmas time, when he got a present, it was like, he was just going like this right here, tearing his paper off. He wasn't worried about saving no paper. He wasn't worried about the box it was in. He was snatching and a pulling and a slinging, and he'd open it up just as fast as he could, and he'd look at it, and then he'd grab another one. And then he'd do the same thing. And he done that to every gift. And he had so much paper strung everywhere, we had to pull his gifts out from under the paper. But when after he opened the last one, he said, "Where's the next one?" We'd say, "Well, that's all." Well, he was so disappointed, but sometimes after he done that, not every time, but sometimes when he done that, Danny would have him something else somewhere hid in the house, and he would give him clues as to where to go find it. But when he got through opening his gifts, in that panic mode like he done, he won't know where the next one was. I think he enjoyed it better opening than he did getting gifts. Oh, I see some of y'all's chats, but it was just hilarious watching him. Now Christina, she would take her time. She would open her gift. She would try to take care of the paper. Sometimes, not all the time, but I don't remember what it was Danny hid that time from Stephen, but he told him that it was like in the, I don't know, like he give him hints, like in the bedroom, out of sight, you know. He had to hunt it, and but Stephen always loved that part of it. I mean, he really loved that part of it. He wanted to see what that last thing was, and he would do that with Christina too. But it was just as different as night and day with them two. Stephen was just hilarious. In fact, I wish y'all could have actually seen him back then opening gifts. But they always got way too much for Christmas because Danny, he worked and he made sure, I worked too, but he worked, we both did, and he made sure that they had a good Christmas. He wanted them to enjoy Christmas, and they did. But I just feel for families that's got kids. Now, I know you raise your kids up the very best that you can, and you know, when they get grown, then we're responsible for them until they get the age of accountability, and then they have to answer for the choices they make. But while they're under our care, we're responsible for them, and we have to answer for them. And the Lord will hold us accountable for how we raised our children. And you know, sometimes you can raise them the very best, and some of them, either due to different health conditions they were born with or whatever, they pitch fits and do things that, you know, that would embarrass you and not pleasing to you. But that kind of stuff can't be helped. And most of the time you can tell. But when it's just a kid that is just going to be mean and spiteful and just do anything because they can't get their way or something, now that's different. There's a different way to handle that. But y'all, Christmas is a beautiful time, and it's a special time, and it don't matter if you a newborn or if you 100 years old or older. Christmas is special, and most people are so thankful for what they get, even if it's an elderly person and they get a new box of talcum powder. They just as happy, and they love it. I've seen people at the nursing home open presents like that, and they were just so thankful. They were just about out, and they needed some more. And like I say, it's not always about the dollar amount that was spent. Sometimes homemade gifts are more precious than anything you can buy in the store. But I wanted to share with y'all, some things that we done that we really shouldn't done at Christmas time. Now I do like to be surprised. I really do. Back then I didn't. I wanted to know what I was getting. But I know my Granny Holton, my mama's mama, she used to always buy us chocolate covered cherries. Her and Mr. Holton did for Christmas, and we loved them. That's why we love them so much now. Granny Holton used to always buy us chocolate covered cherries, and we knew we was gonna get some Christmas time. And my grandma doll, we called her Grandma. That was my daddy's mama. My aunt would take my grandma's green stamps that she saved. She saved them all year. Y'all know about the green stamp books that you used to put the green stamps in. You'd get them from, I think it was Piggly Wiggly. But anyway, Grandma would save them up all year, and she would give them to my Aunt Joyce, and she would take them to the green stamp store and pick out Grandma's Christmas gifts for everybody. And Grandma used to, I remember that one. I remember that. But I remember we used to get a few snow globes from Grandma. When we'd open them, it'd be like a little Santa Claus or reindeer or something, or a Christmas tree in a snow globe, and you shake it. Man, we used to get the neatest little stuff for Christmas. And we all loved it. We couldn't wait to get it. Yeah, Stephen told Matt, it looks like a TV, but it has a door on it. Danny got me a microwave one Christmas, and Stephen knew it. And Danny told Stephen he couldn't tell me what it was, so he said, okay. So, right before Christmas, Stephen told me, he said, Mama, we got you a present, me and Daddy. I said, you did? He said, yeah. I said, well, don't tell me what it is now. He said, oh, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't remember the exact words and exactly how it went, but this is the gist of it. He said, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it looks like. Looks like a TV, but it's got a door on it. Well, naturally, I pretty much figured out it was a microwave, and we needed one too, so I was proud of it. But that Stephen, he couldn't hardly keep a secret to save his life when he was little around Christmas time. Could you, baby? I'm gonna give you a hint. Yeah, he gonna give me a hint. He gave me a hint, all right. But Danny bought me we don't really do a lot of Christmas gifts and Valentine gifts and stuff now. But well, Chef Cat, I've never been accused of that, so thank you for the compliment. Oh, yeah, we loved our snow globes too. I mean, man, I had all mine for years, but I really loved them. And I loved my dolls with their homemade dresses that I got from Miss Avis Logue, my dear sweet friend. Yeah, but I was little. Yes, you was little. You was real little. You probably wouldn't tell me that now. You just aggravate me about it. You wouldn't give me no big hints or tell me. But Danny bought me. Oh yeah, I was saying this. Danny bought me them, and I know he didn't tell Stephen this nor Christina. I think yeah, Christina was just a little bitty infant baby then. But Danny bought me a fur coat. Oh, it was so pretty. It was blue fox. It looked kind of white and gray, but it was called a blue fox fur. Had a high collar, open front, and it was so pretty. And it was so pretty when I got it, I cried. I mean, and I told him, I said, I'll never have anywhere to wear this, but I wore it anyway. I wore it to church. I wore it to work. But I was real proud of it. Yes, it was beautiful. And every time I put it on, I'd have to rub my nose like this, like I do when I hold the dogs, 'cause I'd be up there. The fur would be itching me. But y'all, we had some of the best times back then. And I just really wanted to get on here and share with y'all what not to do at Christmas time. Because, see, we wasn't always perfect little angels. My brother used to get into the gifts. You would tell on him. I guess it says tell, the heart's in the way, but yeah, yeah, now those are good memories. I don't know how good Joey and Stephanie and them's memory was, cause like I say, I can't remember if Miss Betty ever found out about it or not. But I'll ask Dina when I talk to her, cause Dina was a little older and she probably remembers. But and she probably hadn't asked God to help her forget most of her past, so she might remember. But I do remember that. And thank you, Miss Elaine. But it's just when Christmas time gets here, just pay attention to the. I know everything is, you know, hustle and bustle and rushing but just pay attention to the little kids. If you get to be around any of your grandkids or great grandkids or kids that's still young, pay attention to them when they open their gifts, and you can see it in their face. I tell you what, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I think Danny told y'all in a story before, but when Christina was little, I'd say around 2, she was little. She got a glowworm, and she was scared to death of that glowworm. Stephen would chase her around the house with that glowworm. Now he would get in trouble for that. Do you remember that, Stephen? But every time you held that glowworm up close to her, she would start crying. She didn't like that worm that lit up. So I had to get rid of the glowworm. She didn't want it whether it lit up or where it didn't light up. Yeah, blooming, I bet that was beautiful. Well, I didn't never really think about how mine was made, but anyway, it was a beautiful coat, and I loved it. And me and Danny, we hadn't. I mean, like when we were dating and we were teenagers. I mean, I don't know if it was then or after we got married. I'm not real sure, but anyway, he loved music and all. And he had a guitar, and I was working. I bought him an amplifier to go with his guitar. And, you know, stuff like that. We would usually get stuff, you know, when it wasn't a special occasion, just when we wanted it or thought we needed it. And that's pretty much how we do now. Now we'll give each other a little something Christmas, but that it's not all that. We did used to buy Valentine cards. We don't even buy Valentine cards anymore. We just say I love you and kiss, and you know, might do something special, might not. We've been to Valentine suppers with the church people before, and you know, different stuff, but time changes things. And we pretty much like being around the house, and as long as we together and we healthy, we pretty satisfied. But I love all of you for getting in here for just a few minutes with me. And Stephen, thank you for watching and commenting, and thank every one of you. It's a joy to be able to be off and get in here a little bit more. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I don't know when I'm gonna be on again. Danny might be on tonight. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to do a little more than I've been doing, and I do love y'all, and I thank y'all, and thank y'all moderators. Thank y'all for the super chats. Thank y'all for just being a wonderful, loving YouTube family. I know a lot of them's not in here now, but they didn't know I was gonna be on. But I so much appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to say a little prayer. Dear Lord, we come to you right now. We thank you for everything that you do, that you're going to do, and that you have done for us. And dear Lord, we ask you right now to be with Anthony, Lord, and touch Anthony and strengthen Anthony, and help his little broken heart, Lord. He's hurting because he lost a good co-worker and a good friend, Lord, and that is a major thing, because I've done the same thing in the past year or so, lost several. So dear Lord, we ask you to be with him. We ask you to be with the ones who's having surgery today. We ask you to be with the ones who are hurting, strengthen them, the ones who are disheartened. Maybe this gave them a little laugh. Maybe it encouraged them a little bit, especially on what not to do for Christmas. But anyway, I thank you for my YouTube family, silent watchers, all the unspoken prayer requests, all the praise reports. Remember all the prayer requests, Lord, each and every one of them. And I know there's probably somebody else that I should have called their name today. But dear Lord, you know all of them, and you know exactly what they need. Please answer according to your will for each circumstance. Continue to bless our world and our leaders, Lord, and keep us safe until we get back together again in the next video. Amen. Bye-bye, y'all. I appreciate y'all watching. Oh, thank you. I did clean it up, y'all. I told y'all I was, and I did. I put my stuff back, and this right here. This is my Christmas stuff stacked right here, because I don't have anywhere to put it. That's my daddy's flag. That's Miss Avis's handkerchief and needle that she crocheted with, one of them. Y'all know who them two rascals are. Yeah, I cleaned up a little bit. I put my little animals right here. Some of them, not all of them. But I did clean up a little bit. I got some pictures I need to hang over there. Y'all see? There's my baby, and there's my babies. But I did clean it. I did clean it up, y'all. But I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all so much for the super chat. Oh, I got another super chat I missed. Oh, thank you. I see that now. Go whoever, go whoever, go whoever, go. Yay, thank you. I don't know who's seen it, but bye everybody. I appreciate it. I love y'all. Bye-bye.